What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. This is Big Games BS presented by AlphaMaleJax.com. AlphaMaleJax.com, the go-to website for all things male enhancement related. Male, female, any kind of those things. We actually service them all. We want to make sure we're going in. We're ending the year on the right note. Get enhanced, get your body right, get all those different things. On this wet, cold, rainy Saturday, shout out to everybody who's falling into the chat. A lot of stuff going on today. I am going to be on, I don't know his name. It's Hurricane TY. Let me make sure I'm telling you guys the right thing. We'll be on there at 7. So after I get done with this, basically, I'll immediately go do his show. Hurricane T2Y. I'll be on his show. He's got a YouTube where he covers the big 3, different stuff like that. Everybody but my show is sponsored by Taste One. I need to get my guy to give me some nuts. That'd be amazing. Amazing promo there. But anyway, so we didn't do a show on Friday. There's a lot of reasons why. Big shout out to everybody who graduated this past or is graduating this weekend. Florida State's got a bunch of guys. Nephew, you guys all know Kalen DeLoach, Jerry and Jones. We've got a lot of guys that have been at Florida State. Seems like forever, and they're graduating. So kudos to them. I saw Cam Kitchens put his graduation picture up there. I love to see young men and women get a chance to achieve their dreams, do some things like that, especially when they get to do it debt-free. You work hard, let somebody else pay for your college tuition. So that's what's up with that. But I am on Friday, though. I've been gone all week. Friday, we did my 4th annual nice gifts for nice grades. I was going around different schools. Shout out to, this is one right here, Sable Pond. We'll post up the pictures here shortly on the social medias, but I always tell people it's one of the few nonprofits where we actually do everything that we say we're going to do. Here's pictures of me with the kids at Sable Palm. The kid in the gray, that's up to my shoulder. That kid claims he's in 2nd grade. Yeah, I told him I need to see some kind of identification, man. And and how I know he's gonna be good is like he didn't like. It's not that stank like he didn't bathe stink. It's the musk stink of a man. So like he doesn't know to wear deodorant yet. So like that's how I know he's gonna be all right. Like he's growing.
Like FSU.
We didn't really get into all that. I was like, sir, like he had a good firm handshake too for a kid who's supposed to be in 2nd grade. So I appreciate that. I got Zoe. We're gonna have to talk about that a little bit, man. I guess because there's so much stuff that's kind of been going on, and we're gonna try to stay on script, so it won't be your typical show that's been going on forever. So, but yeah, Dog put it up there in the chat. I want to put this up here since this did just happen. Shout out to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University for winning the Potato Salad Bowl, something that Deion Sanders could never do. Willie Simmons proved that he's a better coach. He won the SWAC, and he brought the championship back to the SWAC. I think we got the graphic for that that FAMU posted.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, yeah, right here. I call it a Potato Salad Bowl, but it's the Celebration Bowl. It's the HBCU National Championship. That was big. Congratulations to all of them. And I learned something about Willie Simmons that I did not know in all the years that I've known him, is that he had a nickname. And it basically made what my boy Big Noel said even more true. My boy Big Noel always says, why do HBCU coaches have wild nicknames? Like Jimmy Slim Jim Charles, or like something like that doesn't even make sense. They've been calling Willie just Willie Simmons for a while, but apparently it's Willie Shotgun Simmons. So Willie Shotgun Simmons has won the Negro League championship. So that's what the Celebration Bowl is. Since my Miami fans, the wild thing about fans of HBCUs, which is dope, and everybody else, I guess we'll show some pictures of graduation while we're getting that up, is that I have some Miami fans that are congratulating, saying at least somebody in Tallahassee can win a national championship. And I'm like, well, cool. Since we're claiming fictitious national championships, maybe when Florida State beats Georgia, nobody will bash us for claiming a fictitious national championship. So nonetheless, a lot of different things have been going on. SEC. Here's another reason. Here's one reason why I don't want to be in the SEC. And I want people to realize for the 2024 season already, you people on my timeline that are Florida State fans, Miami fans that are coming in, Tallahassee, the hotels are crazy. Guess what's going on already in Tuscaloosa? The two major brands. I'm a Marriott ambassador. I'm the top level of Marriott. That's where I stay at is Marriott. Well, I couldn't get a hotel, goddammit. Every Hilton and Marriott hotel within 35 miles of Tuscaloosa has sold out for the 2024 game. You can't even get a goddamn hotel. You gotta go stay. You gotta go stay in the Super 8s or things of that nature. So I don't want to hear that shit about how Tallahassee is small and that's why you want to go to the SEC. The SEC only makes it worse. Big Ten, real cities, bigger hotels, shit of that nature. Also, keeping in Alabama news for people who keep talking about recruiting. Alabama, every player, every wide receiver in the Alabama. Oh shit! It starts at 6. It's even earlier. Every I'm looking at I got pregame shit for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be on Sunday Night Football with First Coast News. We'll be doing our pregame at 6 p.m., which means my whole fucking Sunday is shut down. This is ridiculous, but cool, whatever. Every wide receiver in the 20, I think it was the 2021 and 2020 recruiting classes for Alabama Crimson Tide. You know what they have done? They've left or entered. They have transferred out. This is good ammunition that I'm going to use. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to use this for my my top recruit. So it said Ja'Cory Brooks departure means every wide receiver in Alabama's 2020 and 2021 recruiting classes ended up transferring. Trayshawn Holden, Javon Baker, Tyler Jones-Bell, Brooks, Aggie Hall, JoJo Early, and Christian Leary all have left. So that's why it's always not. It's like you get these big recruiting classes. Everybody's really in Florida State's fan base has been bitching about recruiting. Man, at some point it's going to be a reward for even sticking with your goddamn class that you brought in. Like everybody fucking leaves, and it's crazy to even think about it. But that's just more information for you guys. I guess like the more you know, and all of those. Different things. So even Nick Saban is having a hard time keeping his talent in. One of the funniest things that I've heard about all of this, and before we get into that, we'll get more news about Florida State and the aggravation that they have with the college football playoff. I want people to stop blaming Florida State now. It's not Florida. It is no longer us. Like Kirk Herbstreit was spoken to Bear. Everybody else, it's out of our hands. It's in the politicians' hands. Everybody's writing. Even my friend who works for the not college football player, but for the Florida Sports Foundation, they're literally writing. Everybody is coming in a full force to let them know how this is fucking with Florida's money. Rick Scott, senator, former governor of the state of Florida. Breaking news, the college football playoff just responded to my letter with more excuses and still no transparency. At FSU football was number 4 before beating the number 14 Louisville without Jordan Travis. But then after the win, the college football playoff thinks FSU is a weaker team. It makes no sense. Answer our questions. And what happened was he responded. They put this: Dear Senator Scott, I am Bill Hancock, Executive Director of the College Football Playoff. I am responding to your letter to Bo Currigan, So he wrote a letter to Bo, but Bo said, hey, handle this for me. Director of Athletics at North Carolina State University and chairman of the 13-member College Football Playoff Committee. Knowing how busy you are, thank you very much for taking time to write about college football. I know the decision to rank 4 teams above Florida State is disappointing to you and other Florida State supporters, and I am happy to provide you with information about this decision. We have discussed this matter extensively with the media and have shared the factors that went into the committee's deliberations with college football fans through those media outlets. The committee, which consists of 13 college football experts, including 7 people with experience coaching or playing football at the collegiate level or higher, takes this matter very seriously, as has been done the 10 years in the process, which is well known to sports reporters, the committee, which includes athletic directors and 1 retired football journalist. In addition to former head coaches and players, discusses in great detail the merits of every team under consideration. Florida State was, of course, discussed extensively. Attached, please find our detailed protocol written by the conference commissioners, university presidents, athletic directors who founded the college football playoff 11 years ago. The committee is bound to follow rules set forth in this document. The committee decision to rank FSU number 5 in the nation was based upon 2 principal reasons. The protocol requires the committee to take into consideration the unavailability of key players that may affect the team's performance during the postseason. Simply put, Florida State is not the same team without its star quarterback. That caused the committee to believe that there was indeed 4 teams that should be ranked higher than Florida State. FSU's strength of schedule was not as strong as the 4 teams that were ranked ahead of them. As I am sure you're aware, strength of schedule is a key metric the committee takes into consideration. If being undefeated without regard to a team's strength of schedule was part of the protocol, other universities with undefeated records would have routinely been considered. For the playoff, there have been 8, counting Florida State, undefeated teams that did not make the playoffs, while this is the first year such a team was from a so-called P5 conference. Strength of schedule remains a crucial factor. Where we got the slide in, it was right there. I don't know if anybody caught that. Wow, this is the first year such a team was from a so-called P5 conference. Strength of schedule is remains a crucial factor. Everyone on the committee understands the disappointment felt by Florida State fans. We recognize that no matter what decision was made, fans somewhere would be disappointed. This year, there were more than 4 highly impressive teams competing for 4 playoff spots, yet only 4 could qualify. The committee members are confident that they made the right decision. This is what I always tell people. Sometimes we talk entirely too much. One of the things that's supposed to happen is a Power 5 champion is supposed to have consideration. But we've seen how everything is merged and condensed into one thing. I think, Miles, if you click on the next one under that, Andrea Ellison really condensed this. Joe, she put and she actually got a response from Bill. I guess she put the response from Bill Hancock. It's important to know that college football doesn't use the term Power 5 or P5, while the media and others use the term college football playoff. Doesn't use the term P5 to refer to the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, and SEC. We use the term A5, Autonomy 5 instead. So in response to Senator Scott's reference to a Power 5 conference, I inserted the term so-called to mean people may call these 5 conferences Power 5, but that is not our official language. I would use so-called when any of the 5 conferences is referenced as Power 5, so it is used in my response to not mean or to offend anybody. So he also put, you can understand why, or she puts, you can understand why there was outrage, different things like this. But the crazy part is that they actually use Power 5 on their website. Nobody's ever heard them say A5 before. Basically, what the aggravation comes is that you're and what they keep doing is playing in Florida State's face. They keep saying the quiet things out loud. They keep telling you, don't be mad. And every time you get a chance to kind of let it go and not be mad, they do something that makes you even more mad. And that's the part where I don't think these guys actually understand. They can at least hear me, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I don't think these guys understand. They're making it up as they come. I have never heard them use Autonomy 5. They don't even use it when they're doing the college football playoff selection show. They don't say the Autonomy 5. It's a wild state, and everybody's doing everything except for fucking apologizing. Again, we apologize. We think we got it right, but we can understand how other people don't think we got it right. This is the first time you're hearing language like Autonomy 5. Here's something that Boo put. Why Liberty, one of the schools that is undefeated. So it's why when Bill Hancock can say we don't use things like Power 5, we use Autonomy 5. Here's what Boo Corrigan is talking about in Liberty, who went undefeated. Here's why Liberty is not considered. So when the chairman, I just want people to realize this. Liberty did not play a Power 5, which we talked about at length, schedule. This was another one of those areas where the committee went deep to look into it. Lost to Oklahoma, lost to TCU, but SMU lost to Oklahoma, lost to TCU. But again, really good team. And as we went through it over and over again, the room of the vote came down, and it was Liberty at 23 and SMU because they go and rank the top 25. But note, key word, did not use. Liberty did not play against the Autonomy 5. He literally said you played against the Power 5. Like, and with the acts of transparency, you should, again, now they've also said that they don't keep minutes and things of that nature. So there'll never be transparency, and they're going to be lies. They're going to consistently tell these lies. And you know what's going to happen every time they consistently tell these lies? Somebody's going to get mad. But what's wilder is this. And let me find this. If you go to college football rep, the CFB rep status, I think that's the one. No, that's not it. Damn it. I'm trying to find this link. Oh, it's I'll tell you where to go. Go to NCAA on the that, but whatever, just where it says right there. Where it's wilder is this. If we think Florida is just getting crazy, you're like, damn it. We just got too much going on. Like, Florida is Florida, and people are upset with Florida. Just get over it.
Yeah.
In comes Georgia off the top rope. Georgia State lawmaker demands the Orange Bowl between Florida State and the Bulldogs be added immediately to the college football playoff. Like, we're not even suggesting anything for this year. Georgia State Senator Colton Moore, following in the footsteps of Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody and other state politicians in the South, has written an open letter demanding CFP Selection Committee adopt the Orange Bowl between Florida State and Georgia as an additional college football playoff game. Both the Seminoles and Bulldogs were left out of the 4-team field as the number 5 and number 6 teams, respectively. However, unlike Florida State, Georgia did not go undefeated in 2023. They lost to Alabama. Your mandate is to send the 4 best teams in the country to the playoff, and instead you have created a political mess with a decision based on bias in weaker conferences and teams who want nothing to do playing the Georgia Bulldogs, Moore said in a part in his letter. Technically, this motherfucker just gave a shot at us. Like, bitch, don't join our fight and our plight and then shoot shots at us.
Yeah, nobody wants to play Georgia.
Like, God damn it, nobody wants to play Georgia. These teams of weaker conferences, so you send us to play these motherfuckers. Like, whoa, bro, Colton, we're here. Like,
yeah, we didn't.
You didn't get specific. You said those goddamn Yankees in that Big Ten conference. And that fake ass SEC team in Texas, and we don't know what the fuck goes on in Washington. You didn't say that. You could have got really specific here about the other weak teams, but you left it vague. In the weaker conferences, we're the so-called Power 5 conference. Just bashed us. God damn it, Colton.
The media labeled Power 5.
Jeff Hill, shout out. Appreciate the $5 donation here. My question is, if they're going off a strength of schedule, then why did Michigan get in? Who the fuck knows why they do anything that they do? Shout out, we're over 100 again.
That was fast. We don't have a soundboard, but they can.
I don't know. Guess we could. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let me go pull it up.
Try the link thing.
Yeah, we'll do the link thing. Once we get over 100, we'll be able to do that. We got Mike Bartz got 1 month membership, so we click on that real quick, Miles, so we can see what he's talking about.
I heard he referred to us being Liberty.
Yeah, man, like it's just like the disrespect is one. Like it just don't compare us to Liberty, man. I would feel a lot better if they just said, "Fuck it." We said what we said, and that's what we said. But that's why, again, every week Florida State's going to get mad. You're going to get more mad. So and they're going to just keep rehashing shit so that you just get more upset. And I'm sorry, guys. That's just what it is. If you want to chat, the link is now in the chat for it's pinned to the top for you to click on it. We'll see you. See ugly mug. We probably won't put your ugly mug on there, but we will let you people hear your voice. But we got a great opportunity in 14 days, I believe. Is it 14 days? December 30th, whatever the fuck that is. Florida State takes the field against Georgia. And Florida State, in a situation where it doesn't mean anything to anybody, we have to go out there and we have to perform against who I do believe is the fucking best team, one of the best teams in the nation. Like, they were number 1 for all season, and then all of a sudden, these motherfuckers lost once, and it sucks. But go to that video. Here's what actually scares me a little, is that I know Kirby's smart, and Kirby is Kirby. And this is some Georgia Players podcast. It's actually pretty good. I've been listening to it off and on or seeing clips. But here's what those guys have to say. Javon Bullard speaks on Georgia, the Georgia Bowl game. So let's hear what Georgia players are stating right now about Florida State.
Like, what you think about that game, bro? I seen something so funny. The internet is undefeated. Boy, they said Georgia and Florida State playing in the Maddie football. Boy, that game gonna be physical. Cause I know how Coach Kirby gonna take the approach, like, make a statement. Yeah. And they coach Mike, he gonna take the approach too.
Right.
Make a statement. Like, we should have been in there. Yeah. So I ain't gonna lie, that game gonna be fun to watch. Boy. Yeah, it's gonna be heated, man. It's gonna be heated. A lot of angry people playing in that game, man.
So what's cool about this, and this was refreshing, but it got me nervous. Because all I'm hearing about from Florida, we got robbed. Yes, and we should be mad we got robbed. This doesn't mean this is a meaningless bowl game. It's a meaningless bitch. Does that sound like some motherfuckers who don't mean shit too? Them the motherfuckers who should really be mad. They've been in consecutive national. Georgia has been in the national championship game numerous times since they've had the playoff. We've only been in the playoff once. Georgia's been to the bitch like numerous times. Their players should be like it's a foreign concept to them to play in this Orange Bowl. Us playing in a New Year's Six Bowl is a foreign concept to these guys right now. And we're acting like, them motherfuckers say, bitch, you know what? We mad as fuck. Somebody got to pay. Tupac had this great song, the Gay Thespian, had this song called Troublesome, 1996. And in that, one of the things where he was talking, like my homie Napoleon said, somebody got to explain why I ain't got shit. That's the mindset that they're taking. Is that, and you guys are worried about, the sky is falling. They're even making asinine statements like, are the recruits going to want to come and play for us because we're not playing with a national championship? Shut the fuck up and go get you some testosterone. You got low E. Kirby is one of them cats that is going to motivate players no matter what. I've known Kirby since I was 18 years old. He's a damn good coach, and it's a reason why he's in the position that he's in. And Mike has got to do his best to motivate cats. It's so much so that Florida State fans ain't even paying attention to what else is going on in the world. Florida State is talking about everybody's opting out. Do we even have anybody? Is anybody even going to play in the game? And you're saying shit that doesn't even make sense. Let's look at you. Don't have it right here, Miles, but I'm gonna read these opt-outs. I've been saying things and I'm trying not to say the things to be disrespectful because I like some of these guys. I don't want to say anything that comes off harsh and wrong. And I'm gonna have my guy Big George Foster next week. We're gonna talk about this shit because George is a big dog, played in the NFL, played for the Bulldogs. You know, I was hoping we were gonna have a playoff conversation, but actually, George is low. We should really want to whoop George's ass. If we can. Because it's Georgia's fault. If Georgia wouldn't have lost, we were playing Georgia no matter what, in my belief. It was just going to be Georgia 1, Florida State 4. They want to teach Florida State a lesson. That's why they got us playing Georgia.
They shouldn't even got the Heisman with all that losing.
That part. Florida State has 15 players that have entered the portal. One of which none of us have ever heard of. Show of hands or claps of any of you guys who can remember a play that Tyler Keltner made at Florida State.
Tyler Keltner's parents are gonna be in the chat. So you going?
I'm sorry, Tyler Keltner. I'm just saying nobody knows who the fuck you are, man. And I'm not saying nobody knows who the fuck you are because you weren't any good. You had Tyler Keltner in this season, 2023, in a non-special team snap count, had one fucking play. One play. That's one of the 15 opt-out, 15 transfer portal injuries. Rodney Hill had 109 snaps. He's not a starter. He was like the third or fourth string running back. I'm not going to bash you. I think Rodney would be pretty good. It's just we have a lot of running backs. God bless you. Not even going to get into your transfer stuff and everything else. Thank you for your service. DJ Lundy, who I don't think he posted the paperwork that he officially got in, but that one kind of tickles a little bit. But he's not a starter. It hurts because we don't know what Bethune and what Nephew is doing. 406 snaps, DJ Lundy was not a starter. Malcolm Ray, not a starter. Thomas Schrader. If Thomas Schrader had to play this game, Georgia's whooping our ass, no matter what. Bless Harris. Bless you. He's at TCU now. He got picked up. Salute your shorts. I will never forget how the double you on the pool took fucking forever to get there. Io, big Io fan here. 20 snaps this season. Not gonna miss it. Quayshawn, 3 snaps this season. Quayshawn had all the promise and potential. Did absolutely nothing. One of the worst things a football coach can tell you in life is that you have potential. They all say, man, you got all the potential, but all potential means is you ain't done shit. Daughtry Richardson, I'll never forget the 5 plays that Daughtry had. AJ Duffy, who could not beat out a true freshman with broke his fucking hand or some shit earlier in the season. CJ Campbell, that shit hurt. I actually thought CJ Campbell played more than 43 snaps. I'll take CJ Campbell's 43 snaps over Rodney Hill's 109. Preston Daniel, 4th string tight end. Dylan Brown Turner, should never been here or recruited in the first place. Biscuit, I will miss Biscuit. I will miss saying Biscuit's name. I will miss Marquiston Douglas, but he was a 3rd string tight end. Winston Wright Jr. Hit the transfer portal middle of the season. I'm grateful that Winston can walk. His stuff was tragic. He deserves to go be able to move on and play for himself. But what I'm saying is not one player that will impact that fucking game is in the transfer portal. 3-star, 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 no star, 3-star. Bless had no stars when he came in. 3-star. Sapp was a 4-star. Daughtry was a 3-star. AJ ended up being a 3-star. CJ Campbell was a 3-star. Preston Daniels was a 3-star. Are you kidding? Three stars. A lot of guys. A lot of depth guys. Guys that could have been good. Just not good. Did not do anything for us. No need to cry about it. Now, Miles, can you please pull up what Georgia's missing right now? What the transfer portal looks like for Georgia. That's the college football one, I think. Yeah, that one right there. Now, if this were happening, even then, they still got really good players over there. But 5-star, 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 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They've got 16 people who have hit the transfer portal, some of which have actually made plays or were guys that they were counting on in the next few years. But their fans don't need hormone replacement therapy. They actually have guys that are coming in that are like, you know what? We like what we're doing. They got McHonky might not play. Bowers hasn't necessarily said he might play yet. They're losing a shit ton, man. The one not today. They definitely are. I understood. They got like 30 kids. They damn near 30 kids coming in this class. They definitely got to make room for them. They are pushing people out. But my point is for this game right here, Florida State fans are like, will we have anybody left to play? Phil said, what's the guy's name? The cold ass white boy that Georgia got. McHonky, isn't that his name? And to be honest with you, I'm grateful because in that group of people that is leaving for Georgia, we need to go shopping. We're going Christmas shopping. I would like Jamon Dumas. Give me Marvin Jones Jr. Ba is somebody that we thought we had a chance with until he decided to go over there. I'll take shit. I know AJ Harris ain't coming here. We don't really need no more DBs. We got a good amount of DBs, but like, shit. My point with it is everybody is losing some shit. Like, damn, like at a certain point, it's like the Godfather. You can act like a man. What the fuck is the matter with you? You play the games. Don't play the game like the College Football Playoff Committee online. Line that shit up and play it. Get your ass whooped or don't get you, or wins. Two things is going to happen. You're going to win or you're going to lose. We will be all right. But it's not just that. It's some bullshittery going on through all of this. And this is not even in the Florida State pod. It's just y'all are aggravating me. I keep hearing people because you're listening to other pods that aren't giving you the facts and the breakdowns. Now, last night, I was a little bored. Not even going to hold you. And I went down a rabbit hole. Saying, which one is this, Miles? If you go, how far away is Florida State really now? I'm probably going to start doing some pieces. Because listening to the fans, I would think Florida State didn't go 13-0. Should be somewhere like before camp. How far is that official really?
Okay, I see it.
Yeah. Like, I heard somebody say, my boy, not somebody else, my guy Seymour Stacks, and I understand Seymour's point. Seymour was just like, man, we will never be able to compete year in and year out with Georgia for their line, for the top line prospects, or Alabama. And I was just like, you know what? But who are the top offensive lines in the nation? I think Wisconsin, Iowa, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan. And when you really go look at those, a lot of times you'll find similarities, right? But there are stark differences in how those teams, and if you even expand it to the top 10, what you're going to find is the recruits or the recruiters or the developers. Georgia is clearly recruiters, but the only consistent thing you'll find is that guys who are there's consistency in the offensive line coaching or the offensive philosophy. There's been somebody that's been there that's going to allow them to continue to consistently be where they're at. Oklahoma definitely continues to win. Shaw, good shot, D. Shaw. With that,
For sure.
so I stated, and we went on this thing going back and forth, and they were like, nah. Iowa brings in 4-star. They bring in elite talent. And he looked at something, and it just showed 4 stars. It was 1 4-star offensive lineman. And what's wild is there are things that are available to us that can show us where scholarship distributions are. Like, there's a lot of information on the Google. And so, Miles, you can click on that. And I did the work for you, so that you guys could just see this. And what I'm going to do is, I was curious how far Florida State is away from having what could be considered an elite offensive line. And we used Iowa as the example. And I got news for you. Wisconsin has similarities. And when you look at what's going on with Alabama and Georgia, and it's not as far off or bleak as you could think, especially when you go 13-0, especially when you look at it as it's not about just one unit. It's about, okay, I'll concede. I need a top 15 unit here, and I'll have a top 5 unit somewhere else. I'm going to tell you this. Auburn does not have a better offensive line than Alabama, but Alabama should not have won that game. Alabama does not have a better offensive line than Georgia, but they lost that game. Where they have better is they have a better D-line play. Michigan has a better offensive line than most of the teams that they play, but the reason why the games are what they are is because it is the ultimate team fucking game.
Right.
So, but let's go and discuss this. What we talked about was, I posted, if you click on the mouse, this is based upon our lads. And what I like to do is, I am going to single-handedly make social media and Big Three and sports Twitter smarter. And you're going to have to show your work. We're going to start doing annotated bibliographies. I need to know where you got your stats, where you got your data, so that we can match it and we can make sure that it's accurate and it's not from your uncle, or it's not because I think or I say so. Because that's not how we get better at stuff. That's the problem with this world, and we're going to go on a rant here in a little bit, where a guy who I think is weird as Halloween on a Friday night with a full moon was actually right. And he's actually got a really good fucking podcast, multiple ones that I think people should listen to. But here we were talking about Iowa. This is Iowa starters. But ourlads.com is a good website. Now, what happens is, with our lads, we've used them before, where we broke down Colorado and why Deion Sanders was wrong with saying, I got to bring in a new line, when Deion brought in the fucking line that he had. It even gives you a color-coded thing. So, like, yellow stands for something. That they're first-year players. If they have like black, that means that they're like a 6th or 7th round grade, and so on and so on. But right now, what we're doing is we're looking at the left tackle, left guard, offensive center, right guard, and the right tackle. The left guard for Iowa is a transfer. So that means, and what I noticed was, everybody but Georgia that was considered the top, you know what they had on their offensive line as a starter? At least one transfer, which was interesting. The left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. Now, what are all those things do? So we have a 3-star, 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 4-star, 3-star. That is development. That is not recruiting. And these guys are a redshirt junior, 3-star. A grad transfer, 3-star. So that means they've been in there 4 to 5 years. A 3-star center, that's a redshirt junior. So again, look at these years that these guys have in their classifications. They're not even starting right out the gate. They're being fucking developed. All right, what does that have to do with anything? So I went even deeper, because we were talking about stars, because stars matter. Now they have 6. Now here's what Iowa has. They have 6 4-stars that will be sophomores or freshmen next year. So that's including their recruiting classes. You know what Florida State has? On next year, they'll have 7 that will be 4-stars. So what that's stating is that Florida State is not that far behind when it comes to having an elite one. Now, upon further review, I was a little wrong about Wisconsin as far as how much depth they have. They have 9 out of their 17 linemen next year will be 4 and 5 stars, some of them being young. But guess what Wisconsin's offensive line looks like? There are 3 3-stars and 2 4-stars that make up their starters. Again, now what makes them both really, really good football programs and programs that actually are about life and when America was great, they both have fullbacks. Now, Georgia's offensive entire starting offensive line is 4 stars. The 1 5-star that they have on their line that's left is a backup. And he's a backup redshirt junior, and we've all Florida State fans know him as Mims. The point in this is, in football, development matters. Development matters. You can go and you can look at Florida State when it comes to D-line. Okay, maybe if you think let's go look. They said Phil said they had the worst in powerful. I'm just looking at historically. I'm curious when people say the worst. Oh, I always like to challenge that. I don't know. I don't know what we have to. I'm spelling shit wrong. Offensive line NCAA. There are metrics that we can. Holy shit! But that was from July. Let's go stats. I'm curious, just depending on what we want to look at. They're really good with runs, so I want to see what they. Oh no, this is just showing us sacks allowed. Let's go. What statistic do we want to use? Let's use run. Because a lot of people say those things, and I'm just like, they have one of the worst offenses. I definitely give them that. One of the worst offensive lines that consistently get people drafted in the first round. I'm not 1,000% sure about that. But yeah. So the point in all of this is, Phil, you're mad. Phil's measuring offense. Like their offense stinks. Iowa's offense stinks.
Yeah.
We can all agree.
Really good.
Their offensive line, there's not a person. Like, go ask anybody. Like, just ask people. Hey, you think like nobody's going to agree with you? But their offense is terrible. It's putrid. It's one of the worst offenses. I don't know who their OC is, but they can fire the OC, but they're going to keep the O-line coach. Okay, so all right, so I can see your point with that. But the thing is development. Look at Florida State's D-line. You can go and you'll see Florida State's D-line will probably be highly drafted this year. You know what we're going to see? A bunch of 3-stars that were developed. It's a beautiful combination. I always hate when people feel like they have to just get a 3-star. But what I'm trying to tell people is Florida State's really nowhere near as far off as what people think when it comes to that. Now, actually, I was just talking about my guy George Foster. Cam Newton is in the news because I gotta wrap this one up. And Cam Newton's in the news for something interesting. He's got a podcast. If you've never listened to it, it's actually really, really good. Cam does this great job of because his voice and his demeanor is very calm and very smooth.
Right.
And at first, I've always listened to it, but the last couple of weeks, I paid attention because I think Brandon Marshall is a clown.
Really?
I like I Am Athlete, but I'm taking the side of Pivot.
I don't know what the beef is.
Well, what happened was it's a bunch of money. Friends and money. And when you listen to it, you're just like, all right, B. Marsh. You weren't as transparent as what you needed to be. And you may have points. My point in all of this, Cam Newton literally told him what everybody else has said about him.
Oh.
But he said it in a way in which B. Marsh could take And he had to say, like, man, you know what? You got points. I still don't agree with you, but yes, you have points. And I also think it's because Cam knows that he needs somebody. I'm not Cam, excuse me. B. Marsh knows he needs somebody like Cam in order to elevate it, because very few people are watching B. Marsh with I Am Athlete like they were, because we like Freddie T. We really liked my crazy brother, Channing Crowder.
Yeah.
And
He just had a Cheetah on there recently.
And we like Chad Ochocinco. And everybody's left you that started with you.
Yeah.
And even the people who were coming on with you, like you know, they all left, and it was all because of something fiscally motivated. But last week, a guy who I really do believe is a caricature of himself, and I don't necessarily think there's anything that he does. I think I almost view him in the same breadth as I do Jason Whitlock and those people.
Oh.
Even though he has a point. Charleston White is a clown. But man, if he didn't let Charleston White have a platform and speak, and the way that they engaged in their, like, that's when you know you got something good. Because I would have never given Charleston White that opportunity, like, to ever even hear. But he brought, when points are raised, you gotta be like, damn, the motherfucker got a point.
Right.
And there's a lot of things like that in his stuff. And yeah, but we're gonna get to that in a second. But that's his retort. So go to the chick. Now, what happens with that's the dumb. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. So right here, what happens, I believe, is that people speak so much with these talking heads, and the beautiful thing about, and I've experienced this with being independent of mainstream. Oh, when I started fifth quarter, man, people said all kinds of shit. Oh, he just flinging things against the wall. Coleman ain't got no sources. Coleman ain't got this. Coleman doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's wild because people who have never played or ever had anything to do believe that somebody who actually played at their university, who you see on the sidelines, doesn't have sources in the fucking locker room. How the fuck did he get the sideline pass?
Yeah, what about the blind kid? Well, that was before.
Well, that was before all of this. But like, one could be like, you know what? He's a former player. That talks to current players. He probably knows something over. He got to know somebody. He's from Tallahassee. But the beat and the people would fix their lips to say this shit to you. The people who covered you. These motherfuckers wrote about me, not the other way around. And what happens is it's the caucasity of all of this shit to speak to people who lived and breathed this shit. Like, one thing I know how to do when I'm listening to people who I believe know more than me, I know how to shut the fuck up. It's been great, plenty of times, especially like when it comes to defense. One of my teammates, Antonio Cromartie, when he comes in, I shut the fuck up. Because he know, oh my goodness. Crow talks about coverages. Like, if there was a Nobel Peace Prize for talking about coverages, that motherfucker could do it. But I've seen it in groups. I'm in this Twitter group that somebody put me in. We're talking about the running game. You know what I know about? The fucking running game. It's what I live for. I love that. Oh shit, we talking about duo blocking. That's what we run. And this motherfucker arguing with me, and he ain't never did none of that shit. Ah, well, the offensive line sucks. Again, it's the offensive line sucks stuff. And what's wild is I joke and say the caucasity because there are those teams, but it's the people who put the money. I already know how this shit plays. You nullify the voice of somebody using your platform to try to make them look crazy. And then what you never do is you never argue the points that they make. you argue again, you make it personal, and you shift it, you shift it to where it's not arguing about what we said, but we're arguing about who said it and how they said it and why. And now we're trying to go and be try to be sleuth why they're saying this. And because when you can't beat them, it has to be that they're a hater. My man, Smooth Criminal put it's just you. Smooth Criminal is you. The NFL has actually probably never been more exciting than it's been in the last couple of years.
It's a lot of the quarterback injuries.
The quarterback plays a little bit, but it is more exciting. It's a thing. It's nothing wrong with you. Like if you like college, you're gonna always just say the NFL is not. And you know what NFL people have to say about college? College game is trash. So whatever. But let's play that video that I was just showing you because Cam Newton made a statement that's not bad. His statement was not that one. Was that about who is a game manager? A game manager is only negative in the media connotation because they made it. But everybody wants a fucking game manager because the goal is to win fucking football games. Now push play on this.
I'm just so honestly, move past the outfit for a second.
So hold on, push pause.
He
So Cam's gonna go into this. So the first thing she says, she's outdone. I can't. I'm going to say something. It's going to be extremely sexist.
Oh boy.
But just that right there is the reason why men say, why aren't you in the kitchen? On Twitter. It's just like you're so outdone by a guy who is an MVP candidate. Excuse me, I apologize. My bad, Cam. A man who won the MVP. A guy who actually played in a Super Bowl, had an opinion about a fucking quarterback. You should never make all of those noises. Nobody should. If anybody has the right to make any kind of opinion, even if you don't agree with it, it would be about him. And your first, let's not talk about his outfit. You're already it's the a man doesn't agree with me. It's three things I got to do. You're being sassy. I got to attack. I have to attack the manhood of the man.
Not the statement.
Not the statement. Because if it was just about the statement, you would have came at the statement. Like you would have just came in. Boom, 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 boom.
But that's her being an entertainer.
But or trying to be. And that's the problem. Everybody's trying to be what Stephen A. Smith, what Skip Bayless, what these guys who actually are the GOATs are naturally.
Right.
Oh, my bad. Let's listen to what else this chick has to say.
Year of 2023, where it's all about NFL backups. Where's Cam? Not on an NFL roster, right? So he's talking about all these NFL game managers. He sounds like the people literally tweeting at me from their basement, like, get back in the kitchen. Like, it's like you are at home.
So pause. You're saying, because he said he's like a game manager, not saying why he's not a game manager. You're saying he's acting like the people who tell you tweet from their mom's basement. And then she's not gonna let you fuck bros right here. Oh my God, she's because they're
I
worse.
thought he was laughing at her.
Oh shit, it gets worse. It gets worse because what we in the situation because you can't say shit about them when you work with them because HR is gonna get you. All right, but go ahead. Let's push the play.
Watching me, like just turn the TV off.
Probably in the kitchen.
Like it just sounds so foolish. I'm just so like
we didn't get into all of that. So a lot of these guys come in and they make it personal, and then it comes, oh, Cam's just mad. Cam's mad because he's not playing. Now, a guy, I don't even know how you say that, says Warren Sapp had some pretty harsh words about Cam in the Super Bowl performance. Perfectly fine to do that. Perfectly fine to do that. Like, go to Cam's thing. We'll play some of his. His statement is very long. But he comes out, like, really somebody should have took this, and there's not you got to just have the ether beat on loop because he really comes at him. But like, if you want to talk about Cam's Super Bowl performance, it was shitty. He didn't die for the ball. He did a lot of things, but this ain't got shit to do with that. With what he's saying. But push play.
Yo, what's good? What's popping? Hey, over the last 24 hours, there's been a problem with is address the point that I made, not me. And I think oftentimes that happens in regards of athletes trying to make their point. It's easy for somebody to say,
move past the outfit for a second. So he's talking about all these NFL game managers. He sounds like the people literally tweeting at me from their basement, like, get back in the kit. Like, it's like you are at home.
When he does this podcast or whatever it was, this is just wacky stuff. You know, like this, what, Cam, you know more football than that, right?
It's called Funky Friday. That's his podcast. Because that's absurd. When he said Dak's name, he telling jokes. First of all,
but the first point that I want to make here is this. Identifying the difference between a game manager and a game changer. Game manager is not a negative connotation. Ken, what do you mean by game manager? My definition of that managing player is a player who has the ability to make the right play at the right time, protecting the football at all costs. There's times in my career where I figured this out. Sometimes, Cam, you don't have to take over a game. Allow other players to do that. If we're getting personal here, there was times in my career where I did it, and there's times in my career where I didn't do it. When I think about ultimate elite game managers, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, game changer and game manager is not something where I'm saying
now, let's push
this person is.
Can we all admit that Tom Brady is not Michael Vick?
Facts.
Michael Vick is a game changer. It is not everything that he says about Tom Brady. That's not a knock. That's what Tom Brady would tell you. He does that. Tom Brady is an elite distributor. One of the things we tell quarterbacks in our offense: be a point guard. Your job is not knock down the three when you need to. Your job is to make sure the ball gets in the hands. Now, why he said Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott? Like, some people are comparing to that. Like, you know what Brock Purdy has? Trent Williams, probably going to go down as one of the greatest left tackles. You know what Cam never had? A great fucking left tackle. Right. Deebo Samuel, really, really fucking good wide receiver. Christian McCaffrey, really, really fucking good running back. And a defense that's going to get him the ball over and over again. The 49ers are a fucking well-built organization and a team to where you know what they need to win? A game manager.
So is Dallas.
And Dallas is the same way. And he goes on to talk more about this again. But just even before we get into a little bit more of this to play, notice what he did not do one time. He has not taken one shot at anybody. All he's done is argue the points in which they were made. Now, he does end it pretty damn fucking good. Let's keep going.
He's not physically capable of making some great plays. I'm not saying that. Or I am not saying that they're not good players. There's really only 3 to potentially 5 game changers in the NFL right now. Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Chris Canty, I was listening to what he was having to say, and he used this as an analogy. A game changer is a truck. A game manager is a trailer. A truck pulls a team together and pulls and is the reason why this team is having success. Game manager is merely a trailer that's attached to something to make it go. When I see a guy like Brock Purdy, yes, did he make hell of a throws? Yes. Is he making elite decisions? Yes, but he's putting it in guys like Deebo Samuels and Christian McCaffrey. Like, that's the point. When you think about those teams, first thing I think about with the Cowboys is the defense. Is Dak Prescott playing lights out ball right now? Hell yeah. But the first thing I think about is the lights out defense. When I think about the Miami Dolphins, it's Tyreek Hill. It's not Tua. That's not to say Tua's not having a great season. When I think about the 49ers, it's not Brock Purdy. This is Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuels, that unbelievable defensive line. Kyle Shanahan, who's calling his ass off with just putting the schematics in place. These are guys I fuck with. These are people who I respect. Being a game manager is not something that it's a backhanded compliment. A game changer is this. As an all commentators who has an opinion about a game that they've never played. But my issue comes when I start seeing commentators speak about a person who actually played the game and has his opinion to be had. That's my issue. Here I am, no different than anybody else, that the overarching theme is we all want our opinions to matter or want our opinions to be heard. And that's no different than what I've been able to do with my independently owned IP, 4th and 1, Funky Friday, I Am Iconic Live Tour. This has been the content that has been pushed in media. Let's talk about the LeBron, the Cams, the Odell, the Roger Federers, the Serena Williams, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe's, the this, that. And they don't have nothing to justify that outside of, oh, I have a journalism degree. And I'm not saying that that's an issue. But when a person who actually lived it, prepared for it, played it, did it at a high level, now that's discredited by poking fun at the person himself. Almost to say like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what the hell you talking about. I'm like, hell, I played 11 years in the NFL, a league MVP, Heisman Trophy winner, 5-star athlete coming out of high school. If anybody can talk about this matter, whether right or wrong, it's still subjective and it's still heavily opinionated. Who can? I mean, let's not be no fools here. We're getting information from people who've never played this game. But at the same time, when I sit up here and say, you know what? Let me say something about the state of football right now, in my opinion. My intentions was never to suppress the talent of Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, or Tua Tagovailoa. But the facts are what the facts are. Whether I play another snap in the NFL ever again, trust me, I will be straight. The work has already been done. The proof has been in the pudding. The truth of the matter is this. As I start taking this media space,
This is what they hate.
very serious. I can do what you've been able to do, and that's give your opinions about different sports topics. The reality is you couldn't do what I do, or in this case, what I did. But when I say stuff like that, oh, that's Cam's ego. I'm in a time where I feel more
That's the point,
liberated.
and that's the whole side part. But the real ironic part about this is how this came about was him critiquing Dak Prescott and him critiquing Brock Purdy and stuff like that. But if you're gonna pull up the other video, Miles, I listened to her. I think her opinion on Dak Prescott like the next day, which is just funny because again, she was just upset about him suggesting that there. She thinks it's offensive to call Dak Prescott a game manager, but it's not to compare him to Zach Wilson. And let's just listen to her rationale.
That player standpoint. Now, Dak Prescott right now is averaging 10.1 yards per completion. You're like, oh, okay. Zach Wilson, 10 yards. They are practically the same. And when you are compared with Zach Wilson right now, that's not a good thing. And I understand that this is one game, but it's about sustainability and what they said about what this offense would be in the offseason. Aggressive.
I'll pretend I didn't hear the Zach Wilson comparison, but very quickly. You made a magnificent analogy.
But did you hear him? Like, no, man, tell that bitch to shut up.
The look set it up.
Like, no, you sound stupid. Don't before y'all come. No. My good friend Sheena would never say no shit like that. The crazy part is it's black women that are really good at this shit, and y'all put her ass up there. That being said, though, Cam does look like a Batman villain. Like he does, he does look a little bit like the Riddler, if you would. But the point is like, guys, let's just chill with this shit, man.
I mean, it's cool because it's like a snake eating its own tail. Like where media is creating content that is creating its own content without the sport being played. Like that game doesn't need to be played.
Right.
Cam says that. It gets aggregated. She says that, gets back to Cam, and it's
and then one person says, well, then Shannon's like, I think even somebody put like, we're not gonna give them no pub. We're not gonna make them popular. And what's crazy is that Cam was like, it was wild is that some of us are doing this, and we're doing it at a higher level than them, making more money than them, and people are they're just getting upset because Like it's like I'll be honest. What Cam doesn't realize is that they're sending them after him. When I realized that, I looked at our numbers at one point with fifth quarter, like and people were taking this stuff. We'll have a couple that were members of War Chant 247 and these other places. They would screenshot the shit from the other places and drop it in our chats. They still do. But so it's like you pay $5 for this one and then you get everything.
It's like when someone gets a degree in something and then someone else learns it.
Right.
You want to stop that person who didn't get the degree.
Right.
You didn't do it your way.
You're becoming a hater.
Yeah. That's how it is.
But it's a lot of color, a lot of beautiful colors in this world. Green is not one that you need to be. So you don't need to be green with envy. But bottom line is this, man. The beautiful thing about social media and the bad thing, because I'm gonna tell you what it's coming. It's funny because athletes are coming for two different types of groups. We're coming for mainstream people. You know who we're coming for next? Goddamn podcast bros. On God, the minute that I figure out a way to truly make this like we find like damn near 100 all-in members or some shit like that, and I know that this bitch is solid.
We gotta go to Patreon.
Oh, definitely gotta go to Patreon. Actually, you know what? You don't even need to go to Patreon. All Patreon is an opportunity to you can build a website and put a credit card processor on.
Yeah, this is
like Patreon just takes it's the same amount of money gets taken out of Patreon that gets taken out of YouTube.
Really? I thought it was less.
Maybe a little less, but what I was gonna say is the podcast bros is coming to an end, dog. Have you Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco's podcast and like even Stephen A. Smith? People are starting to talk about about how about their old past lives.
Oh no!
Like no, they're not naming names, but like they're talking like Shannon talking about dating them advice. Even though I think my friend said something, I can't unview it that Uncle Shay Shay might be a little Shay Shay.
Nah.
And then when they said it, you start like he got the little dog.
And he's just rich.
And he's got, but then it could be. But rich people are weird, man.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, that's true.
Now rich people are saying like rich men are like, bitch, I'm not taking nobody out on no $500 date.
Thank you.
Like the man who's a millionaire can say it.
Please, it makes it easier
like
for us.
So like when the guy with the money is saying it, dog, we know you podcast, bro. Podcast, what does he call it? What is it, pandering, bro?
Yeah.
We know your broke ass can't keep afford $500 first date. And Shannon Sharp brings up the point that people really believe. If we start off at Roof Chris, where the fuck are we going next? Like work your way up. I've been saying this since I've been on radio. If she can't eat checkers, she can't eat Roof Chris. It would not happen. Just saw. Did you hear about what your nephew said the other day? The youngest one?
No, what he said?
Oh man. So let me read. I put it up there. TJ sent it to me. It was hilarious. Because part of me doesn't want to believe it. Oh shoot. They're putting out a Fat Kit Deals got a DEA starter kit. They give you a 12-pack of Arm & Hammer for $10. They want y'all to go get these Christmas gifts. Let me see. Where's the text? It's Junior. If you listen to us enough, Trey, like one of Trey's good friends is Charles. Charles's dad texts me and says, "Yo, Killer said he gonna get him a girlfriend." And I said I thought Killer already had a girlfriend. But here's why I have to be the father that I have to be, because y'all not gonna influence my kids more than me. So TJ, did you tell Mr. Junior that you want to find a girlfriend? Kai says no. Tell the truth. Okay. Yes, I did. Why do you want a girlfriend? Now here's where I smile. Because I like girls. Can you help me find a girlfriend, please? To his mother. Okay. I need a tie, a long tie, and a white shirt. But she needs to wear a tutu because she needs to dress fancy. I like it. Tell these hoes how to dress, Kai. I'm with it. If you're going to dress up, she need to dress up. Anything else, I have to have money so we can go eat at that Texas place. Mom, with the meat. Texas de Brazil, yes. But you have to drive us and you take us to those dance parties with the girls and the boys. I want to do that too. So, do you know who you want to be your girlfriend? And it's Abby, the little Indian girl. Like I already figured that. I didn't, I don't even know why. I told Junior I thought he had a girlfriend already. At least he might not. As women say, like you, do you have a woman or do you have a woman that claims you? Killer definitely has a woman that claims him. But like, nah, we're not finna do that. Like, we're not taking these hoes to Texas Day Brazil on the first fucking date. Not on my watch. God damn it.
Yeah.
Even if you can, it's not about if you can or if you can't. It's like, where do we go from here? Like, we're gonna get popcorn. We're gonna do coffee. We're gonna do like some regular shit. But I need Kai to be. I didn't know Kai was gonna be the financer. But yeah. So, anyways, got a couple of minutes for questions before I go over here and do this next show. Michael Morris comes in here and says our O-line will be great in 2025. It gets better every year. It will take time. Agree with you. The one thing I will say about Georgia, Kirby been there 8 years. A lot of these guys have been, and neither Kirby nor Saban inherited what Mike inherited. And it wasn't even just tag. We've had bad offensive line recruiting and play since about 2015. So it took us a while to get out of the dump. So on that note, guys, no questions here, no comments. Please go like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. We are at 3,798. So we are 202 short from 4,000. Once we get to 4,000 subs, we'll give away $400. I know some of you guys could probably use some Christmas shopping money, and we also give away the amount of likes that are on that show once we give away the dough. So the amount of likes would be for this show. Damn, would have been 50. We gotta have more than 58, right?
Yeah, it's 100. Oh, likes.
Likes, yeah. So it would have been 70 something. So it would have been $72. We would have given away $400 and $72 on this show. We do like a little transparent, unlike the college football playoff committee, we do it transparent. We put all of the shit in the actual spinning wheel so you can see who wins. Somehow Ramon always wins. If you would consider becoming a member, we have memberships from $3.99 all the way up to $100, which is our all-in level. With the all-in level, there are different perks. We'll have some new perks that we'll be unveiling in 2024, right? Yeah, 2024, in conjunction with Alpha Male Jacks. Appreciate everybody for coming through. We will see you guys on Monday. And also, we will be doing I'll be doing little snippets of questions that you have. I think we did one the other day that went really, really good. If you want to understand how transfer portal value works and how these NIL deal works, we talked about that in depth. Me, Chris, Frazier with Sporadics, and George with Renegade Report talked about that.
Going on next?
That's a great question. I have no idea what the name of that goddamn show is.
Or his page,
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at it right now. His Twitter handle is at T2Y Hurricane. I don't know why he has that name, but it's T2Y Exclusive is the YouTube channel. T2Y Exclusive. Go check that one out. I will be on there talking about Florida State. He'll ask me some questions, all kinds of other different things. He actually interviewed a Florida Gator that got into it with somebody. He does does some different stuff. He got me with the suit and the neck looking real big right now. I don't know what I gotta get on him about I believe I should have choice in the pictures that you Google. But yeah, so that's what that is. But what's up, Dave? Shout out to my guy. Dave's not here. The link will be in the. You want to put it in the chat? In the description. Link about to go up in the chat here in a little bit. It'll definitely be in the description. But check out some of the other content that we got. Appreciate you guys for letting us grow. I don't know if it's because FSU fans are mad or what it is, but all in all, it's been some really, really good good participation here, and let's keep it growing. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay dry if you're in the state of Florida. We will see you guys next time.